So it's recording. This is some homebrew, a Saison. Hey, not bad. It's probably been out for 5 minutes. It's better, not totally chilled. It's barely, not even considered warm. I wouldn't consider it warm. Anyways, got a nice head on it. Let's see, I have no idea what you're seeing, or if you're seeing the light, but it's orangish. Right near the closest edge of the glass, you start to almost get into a really deep honey orange, and that's a light. That's the light edge. But fermentables were it was a extract batch with just oats. I believe it was 1 or 1.25 pounds of old-fashioned rolled oats, which I had to. Oh no, they weren't old-fashioned. That's what I use for cereal. No, they were instant, so I didn't have to. I didn't boil them at all. I just did a mini mash really, and then I poured it in. It smells great. So those were the only fermentables. Fuggles were the hops, and with the yeast, I'd say it worked great. 60, 20, and I know I think we put a couple in at knockout. You probably could detect it if you had it side by side with one that didn't have it, but it's kind of hard to tell. I think you're in the way, Alex. Anyways, fermented with, you know what? I don't even know what it is. It's WLP. It's their straight Saison blend, though, or their straight Saison strain. And I did that, started it at about, God, I wish I had my notes with me. I started it at the low end, and honestly, right now, I can't tell you if that was, I believe it was 68. I want to say 63, but that's like the average temperature that I start my WLP 002 at, and that's not what's in this. And then to finish it off, because I did take a sample before it was done fermenting, and it looked like it was finished. It was slowing down considerably. The Krausen on this one didn't want to drop, though, for nothing. And I brought it up. I brought it up all the way to 85 degrees. I used a Reptile terrarium heater. And I used rubber bands, and I put it right on the carboy, which I'm thinking now was probably not the best idea, because it heated up really fast, everything that was right, that close to it, as opposed to the compartment that I had in it, because I did have it in a refrigerator, which was turned off because I was heating it up. But so what I'm going to do next time, if I do need to heat up a beer, heat up the yeast so they can work a little bit more and it's too cold, I haven't even tasted this yet, I'll just set that in there and let it heat up the space. You know what, no, actually I'll set it between a ton of bottles of water, and that will get the heat into the space a lot faster. Hey, thanks for being here, YouTube. You guys are helpful, even if you don't know it. So yeah, it smells great. It's got that funkiness. So like I was saying, I gotta take a taste, man. It smells great. It's almost all yeast with like just a little bit of, because Fuggles has kind of that not dirty, but earthy dirt, but pleasant aroma, and it's not like dirt is in there. It's like you also dirt or also earthy. Earthy is way better descriptor. And you get that earthy texture off of the bitterness. But like I said, it doesn't describe the taste at all. The taste is, it's good, I'll tell you that. It's got a lot of funkiness from the yeast. And nothing else is really in the way. The mouthfeel from the oats really emphasizes just like every note that's in there. It doesn't really come across as anything besides making it thicker, and that allows. I'm supposing that allows the flavors to stick around on the tongue a lot longer, making the beer that more enjoyable. But like I was just getting to, man, when you breathe after you take a drink, that's when it's got like the best. It's good. It's good. But I took a gravity reading when it wasn't moving. It didn't look like it was doing anything. It was at a 1.0, 1.014. Took another gravity reading about 5 days later. It was at 0.13. So I threw in some. I wanted to get it dry, and I'm glad I did. It started up a whole other fermentation. Crap. Okay, I threw in the the Danstar Bry 91. It's the new one it's a dry package. I hydrated it and I got it. I got a starter going of it. That way it would be at full krausen when it went in. It'd have all of its nutrients. I shook it up. They get the oxygen in there. Not the carboy, just the starter. And like I said, I pitched at full krausen, and the beer started fermenting again. Got down to about 07, I believe. So 107. And I'm glad it did. It would have been much more difficult to drink. Not that I wouldn't have enjoyed it, but... and so basically the moral of the story for me, for this beer, is next time I'm just going to make sure that I have more time for the fermentation. And I mean, I did a bunch of research. I did research before, during. I wanted to see if, my final schedule was close to anybody else's final schedule. And like I said, I wish I had that here. I don't. And people are all over the board with this strain. So it seems that you have to do your own trials, and it's probably going to be different depending on like for all grain, your mash temperatures and all that. Not that it's finicky. I mean, I guess it is, though. It is kind of a finicky yeast. They think they called it okay, so I've heard this. Don't take my word for it. It was wine yeast that has been appropriate to ferment beers with, and so apparently wine yeast, you want to get it going like room temperature, just get that ferment done and over with, and then let it age. I didn't let this one age, but I don't know, and I feel like it took a lot longer than, a standard pale wood at that gravity. I think it took it was probably 4 weeks total with crash time. I think 2 or 3 days I'd probably crash it for. And, you know, as you can see, I bottle it. I do have a keg, I just haven't put it in there yet. But, yeah, this is tasty. It holds its head. I think next time I'm also going to put some wheat in there, because it's got a nice head, fine bubbles and everything, and like I said, the mouth feels real nice, but the lacing's kind of crappy, honestly. I say that, and it's showing up on here, of course. Maybe my other glasses weren't washed that well, who knows. Reminds me of like a super soft champagne. Obviously a malty champagne. I keep going back to like the lightest mimosa you could have, but with like the best champagne. And, you know, I don't know what that tastes like, but I imagine that it tastes delicious, and so is this. Alright, viewers. I told you about my Saison. Tell me about yours. I'm curious about everything. Your fermentation schedules, what you expected, what you got, what you changed if you rebrewed it, what you would change if you had the chance to. These are constantly things that are going over, you know, the wheels in my mind, so it'd be nice to get them out there, talk about them a little bit. Drink some beer. Until next time.